isi anyị bụ Nnamdi Kalụ Maazị Madede Uche Mefọ asị m ka Chineke gọzie unu ma nye unu ume nke unu ga-eji arụ ọrụ a maka na amara m na ọ bụghị ihe dị mfe. Jisie m ike, anyị kwụ unu n'azụ, anyị nọnyere unu, enweghị ihe onye iro ga-eme unu n'aha Chukwu Okike adịghị ama. Ise. Nna anyị, nye ihe ị na-ekwu na mgbede a nke a bụ eziokwu maka na o doro m anya mgbe m dị ntakịrị dadi m dị ndụ ọ na-akọrọ anyị akụkọ mgbe a lụrụ agha o mere ka anyị mara ya asị na ọ bụghị naanị ndị Awụsa wụ ndị batụrụ ha ọgụ, ọ bụghị naanị ndị Awụsa ma o nwere mgbe ha ka lụgidere ọgụ a wetu osisi na mma na okpi na ụda lụgide ruo ofu ụbọchị. Nke a bụ nke dadi m na-akọrọ m mgbe ọ dị ndụ. Ya sị na ha dị ụmụ okorobịa 5 target ya one helicopter bụ fighter na-abịa. Mgbe that fighter na-abịa ha targetere ya wute egbe ntụ. Dịka ha jiri egbe ntụ ha targetere that helicopter gbatuo ya. Onye ha nwetara n'ime enwe onye ọcha. Onye ọcha ahụ onwe onye Awụsa, onye ọcha ahụ onwe onye Fulani, onye ọcha ahụ onwe onye Yoruba. Nke pụtara na agha alụrụ mgbe ahụ ọ bụghị naanị ndị Awụsa lụsiri anyị ọgụ. Ọtụtụ ndị buru ibu obodo dị iche iche ọtụtụ mba ụwa niile dị iche iche ha lụsoro anyị ọgụ. Na-ekele dịrị Chineke onye mere ka ya nwa bụ Chineke kwudosi ike n'ocheeze ya meekwanụ ka anyị nwawa ụmụ Biafra ka anyị ghara ịnwụcha kpamkpam. Ekele dịrị Chineke n'ihe niile. So nke a bụ ihe mere eme mana otu ụbọchị ihe ahụ ezoro ezo ga-apụta ihe ihere ga-emekwa n'ekwensu na ndị niile na-ejere ya ozi. Ọ bụ ihe a bụ ihe ntị ka m tinye dịka m na-ege program nke mgbede a. Hello. Alright. So ya bụrụ ya dịka ndị a na-akpasa anyị agwa ha anaghị emetụ anyị mmetụ ihe ga-eme ka a sị na anyị na ha bụ ofu. O nweghị ihe dịka na anyị na ha bụ ofu. Ha ga-alarịrị, anyị nwa ga-ala. Nke pụtara na 30th of this month anyị nọ n'ime ya o nweghị ihe dịka ịpụta ezi ọbụla. Onye ọbụla nọrọ n'ụlọ ya, onye ọbụla nọrọ n'ime ụlọ ya, ịhụ na irie ịhụghị nri ịghara ofu ụbọchị ahụ agaghị egbu gị, ofu ụbọchị ahụ agaghị egbukwe n'anyị. Ya mere onye ọbụla bụ onye nọ n'ala Biafra nke na-enupụrụ isi na ndụmọdụ a onye isi nyesi ihe ọbụla ọ hụrụ n'ụbọchị ezi ahụ ya were. Ana m ejikwa na ohere a na-akpọtụrụ ndị obodo nke nsị n'ime ya pụta. Aha m bụ Madam Philomena Uzechi na-akpọtụrụ obodo anyị bụ Ehime Mba Nnọọ na-ajụ ese na-asị ọ bụ ndị mba nnọọ Ehime Mba Nnọọ ọ bụ na ha anụghị ihe a na-ekwu ụmụ n'ụmụ Agbaje Nzere m Ikpe ọ bụ na anaghị anụ ihe a na-ekwu. Ndị nọgasị otu mba ụwa dị iche iche ma ndị nọ Amerịka ma ndị nọ London ma ndị nọ UK anaghị m anụ olu unu. Ọnwụ na-anaghị anụ ihe a na-ekwu. Ụnụ agaghị akpọta ụmụnne ụlọ ndị nke nọgasị n'ụlọ mee ka ha mara. Oge ahụ na mgbe niile ka m na-akpọ ụlọ a na-asị ha na-akọwa na ha anaghị anụ ihe a na-ekwu. Ọ bụrụ na o nwere ihe dị ka strọgụl a na-eme ha amaghị. Nke pụtara dat na onweghị ihe ha anụgha, onweghị ihe ha ama. Ọ pụtara na ndị ụmụnne anyị ndị nke n'otu mba dị iche iche unu anaghị anụ ihe a na-ekwu. Jisie n'ike kpọọ na ụmụnne unu. Otu ahụ unu na-esi akpọ ha ezilagara ha ihe. Si otu ahụ kpọ ha mee ka ha mata ihe na-aganụ, ka ha mara na o nwere ihe anyị na-eme, ka ha marakwa na enwere ebe anyị na-aga. Ọ ga-abụkwanụ n'oge ahụ akara aka ruo ha nwee ike soro ibe ha mee ihe ndị ọzọ na-eme ka ọ ghara ga-adị ka ga-asị na ha wụ ndị nọ n'azụ while ibe ha na-aga n'ihu n'ihu. Nna ya ekwu ihe a bụ ihe ntị ka m tinye n'abalị a. Nna sị ka Chineke onye pụrụ ihe niile gọzie unu ma gbaa unu ume dịka unu na-eme ka njem a bụrụ ihe nke ga-enwe isi n'aha Chukwu Okike adịghị ama kere anyị niile.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Call on WhatsApp. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes. Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, sir. My name is Collins. I'm calling from Germany, Hamburg. I'm from Imo State, Ehime Mba Nnọọ. Now you go on my colleague Kuku and I don't know today maka sit at home because ndị Igbo na-atịlele si eburu ozu onye ọzọ ya dịka ebuku nkụ ma ọ wụ na omekọtabe onye so omekọtabe ihe mgbe times of mgbe alụrụ Biafran war onye si na omekọta bie because enwere ihe m lere na every time m na-ele that thing na media, a lady, the time alalo the war, a lady come out na-achọ her belongings. I want to egbusiela many people. Akwụsị ya n'ụzọ na-eme interview. Ya nwa say even her last blood will never go back to Nigeria again. This lady on a kwokwa anya mmiri na-agba ya anya mmiri ya na-ebe ezigbo akwa because all people ndị ka ya onye ọwụla egbusigo onye ọwụla. Ya nwa na-ekwu na ọ bụrụ na the last blood ọ nwere, we will never go back to Nigeria again. So na na-ekwu sit at home, onye si na ọ chọghị ịnụ, onye sikwana na ọ gaghị anọ, ibiri ndị ọcha na-awụrụ nkịta nwụọ, a na-eli nkịta nwee remembrance. Talk less of mmadụ Chineke kere. Isi na ị na-efe Chineke na mmadụ anwụọ, ị na-aghachi icheta maka data onye agha nwụrụ anwụ. That means onye agha nwere problem. In terms of what we could today, then when they kpọrọ our brothers and sisters, say rescue ya because of an Biafran war. And they took those people, and those people did not return back again. Somebody kurokuna about Ali Bongo. I live in Gabon for more than 7 years, which everybody know. Even the Gabon na Natana to be any Biafra, to be to Biafra. To Biafra. And I be steady. Everybody knows that one. Even one year Ngozi, all a pastor. All a pastor. So what am I saying? All my here basra here Biafra. Here basra here Biafra. And I wear the Madiatic on a fair fananti. Sit at home. Can we get brande burebu? Kaiban kwa kamera kwa nduke dendo netete for hammer. Because these people they have organ, metazion still now the physical and spiritual. Somebody say I wouldn't but I am a gagawaya. That means on your evening. I go long with that day when you get GM. So another thing I'm to do. After me, most of the Calabar, most of Calabars, I like them and I like whenever I hear their voice on this platform. I love that. Because let them continue. Because in Mother Patana, this thing is race of Igbo, it's race of no, it's for everybody. This is all I want to say. And I'm going to make chorego Biafra. I'm going to Biafra land. It's for everybody, it's for me and every Biafrans. So I just want to sing this song this night. Omela Biafna, Omere ya na la kena, Omere ya na la kena, Omere ya na la kena, Ukwo kika biama, Omere ya na la kena, Omeme ya na la Biafra e, Omeme ya na la Biafra. Ogeme ya na la Biafra, Onyeibe Biafra gemunti n'olu e. Ogeme ya Chukwu okike abịa ma geme ya na la Biafra, une n'uru n'olu mu e. Ogeme ya la Biafra, Nnamdi Kalu, inye ndu kuzu ntụtara ndu mu Biafra. Nnamdi Kalu, ịbụ onye ndu Chukwu, ọ ga-eme ya n'ala Biafra, ukwu n'Abama, ọ ga-ere ya n'ala Kenae. Ọmeju Biafra, anyị na-akwa akwa n'akwa gara Chukwu okike abịa ma, anyị na-ayọ Chukwu okike abịa, Chukwu okeme ya, o mere Kena. Anyị na-ayọ gị ka ime ya n'obodo Biafra e. Ọ ga-eme ya n'ala Biafra, ọ ga-eme ya n'ala Biafra, Chukwu okike abịa ma, ọ ga-eme ya n'ala Biafra, o nwe m ntị n'olu e. Ọ ga-eme ya n'ala Biafra, Ojodere Nnamdi Kanu. Ogeme ya n'ala Biafra. Again, no. Angangore. Wero kweze n'igwe. Angangore. Wero kweze n'igwe. Angala n'ala nsọ Biafra. Angala n'ala nsọ Biafra. Ndị Kanu onye Chukwu zitere ka o du ụmụ ya. Ndị Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, aha gị karịrị ihe a kpọrọ gị ihe. Ndị Kanu, aha Chukwu dere n'obe aka ya. Nnamdi Kanu na ndị otu ya. Daddy, God bless. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We must continue. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. Just hold on. Can you hear me, caller on the line?
Please, I'm very sorry. I'm speaking to George Onyeibe.
Of course, you are speaking to George Onyeibe, Radio Biafra Israel. Go ahead, please, your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
God bless. I want to thank you so much for everything you are doing.
I wish you will lower your radio set down.
Are you hearing me now?
Lower your radio set down.
I off it completely.
Go ahead, please.
So, sir, I want to thank God for your life. My happiness for you, Nnamdi Kanu, and Uchemofo, is that. Sorry, my name is Ikechubu Joseph. I reside here in Biafra. I'm from Imo State, anyway. So, sir, I want to really thank you for everything you are doing in this very restoration project that you people, all of us collective, are into. So, do you know that up to this moment, there are so many people in this very riverine area that they see this Biafran stuff as an Igbo project or Igbo thing. Sometimes I begin to wonder whether is there any other thing that is making them.
My brother, you see,
I'm with you, sir.
There is something I really don't like people talking about. Not because we are not supposed to talk about it, because we are not factual about what we say. You say you are calling from where?
I'm calling from Asaba. Yes,
so when last did you go to Bayelsa?
Bayelsa?
Yes.
I haven't been in Bayelsa before.
Have you been to River State?
Of course, I've been in River State.
When last did you come there?
It has been years, anyway.
What about Akwa Ibom State? Have you been there?
I haven't been there.
What about Cross River State?
I haven't been there.
And then how do you know there is a way they look at Biafra?
Sir, I encountered many of them.
Where did you encounter them? In Asaba?
Of course.
Do you know there are a lot of people from Anambra who will tell you they are not Biafrans? Have you met them?
Of course.
So what yardstick are you using now to know that Anambra people are more Biafrans or agree to Biafran more than the Akwa Ibom people?
The truth remains is that
yes,
whenever I come encounter, if you are a Yoruba person, sometimes when I asked a man in a TV last week, those guys, we were saying something.
But do you know Asaba people say they are not Igbo?
Of course.
Do you know Abo people say they are not Igbo?
Of course, Abo people.
But do you think they are Igbo?
Of course they are.
But they say they are not.
Yes.
And so whose testimony or whose report are you going to believe? The one that is said on sentiment or the one that is truth? What I'm trying to say in effect is I'm not trying to interrupt you.
No, sir.
The Biafran people know themselves. Because I answer Ikechuku and it's our man that pregnated my mother and he hand me over to my father, does he make me a Biafran? That is why DNA is very important. Don't worry about Biafrans. The true Biafrans have heard the call and they are answering. Forget about those fathered by Hausa, Fulani, and Yoruba. DNA test is waiting for all of them. And once again, I must appeal to IPOB leadership when Biafra is restored, because our days of freedom has come already. I only pray they allow me to work in immigration office. Just DNA machine is what I want to work on. Let's flush all these people out of our land. Biafrans know themselves and they are ready waiting for the command. Thank you very much. You have answered
me anyway. And my second question goes like this. I want to ask you a question. This thing that Onyeibe is doing, sabotaging our efforts, what do you think that will be? I want to know what will be their state when this very nation flag finally goes up. Can you please answer me, sir?
As a matter of fact, it is not our desire to hurt anybody down. It is not our desire to undo anybody. In case it's just about how they end their journey. They repent along the line and do the needful. It will look as if they've never sinned before. But they are hell-bent to stop Biafra. They will be stopped at the end of the day without apology. And so it's not as if anybody is targeted. If Onyeibe today rise up and register an IPOB, we will forget his sin. And maybe one of these days, like that a German say, we will take them to waterside and flog them. And they are forgiven. But they say no, they are hell-bent because of second tenure, they will bury us. We will make sure we urinate on their grave. So it's not about just Onyeibe. There are a lot of people worse than Onyeibe. They are yet to face themselves. So whatever they do, you must understand, Nigerians know how to intimidate people into submission. They know how to harass you. I think IPOB is the only people they've not been able to harass or intimidate. Onyeibe and the governors of Biafra land, most of them are under oath. They place them under oath in the mosque, in the palace of the caliphate, the Sultan of Sokoto or any Sultan they are. And then you don't expect them to go against the oath. But when we tell our people the need for Amadioha, they say, no, it's evil. We can't take it, it's evil. Your governors are going to do more evil to you because already they are under oath in our land. So the truth there is that a time will come, according to our leader, Mazinan the Kano. Use your mouth and call them. I mean. So don't worry about them. Jesus said to Judas, whatever you have to do, do it quick. Those who are hell-bent to betray Biafra, please, the time is all yours. Betray Biafra, let's see how fight will go. So sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead, please, my brother.
No problem. We are in a higher learning. We are learning, sir. Another question that I want to ask you, sir. In this very platform, both of you has already been selected in this very platform and to educate on why, like us. Sir, what I want to ask you is this. I have known that, though I am not all that educated, I'm just O-level anyway, but I know when I was in primary 3, my teacher taught me about the 4 cardinal points and level it for me. It never gets out of my memory today. I have never seen a place where they say that it's a south-south or south-east. But moreover, even if there is south-south or south-east, in the north, we're supposed to have north-north, north-east, of course, exists there. We're supposed to have west-west. What is so special in this very zone? I wake up and I hear Midwest. And I try to know this Midwest stuff. They speak Igbo, they do a lot of things, they do what we do. But as time goes on, the moment they created Izo Delta, that Midwest stuff is like a vanished away. And the later on again, we begin to hear, then I was hearing Southeast, the Eastern region. Next thing, I begin to hear Southeast. And what surprises me most, okay, if you come person from here, South, West, It's welcome development, fine. But how can somebody from a state become southeast and a person from Cross River become south? I don't know how this fourth cardinal point is being drawn by our past administrators or whatever. So, sir, can you please clarify me? I want to. What is so special about it? Dividing us till tomorrow, and not only that, also divide our memory. Even to the extent, none of our educated men can even say, no, this is not supposed to be like this, or this is supposed to be like this. I have come encounter a man who said that he came from a South senator. Another one is an Urobo, which I met last week. He said it's a South people from Onisha. They are Biafra. This side, we are South. I said, did you attend to school at all? He said, yes. Can you point to me where is South in the fourth cardinal point and where is South is? And don't fail to tell me the difference between Ebonyi State and Cross River State. What makes those two of them different in that? The man get out from motor and move on his own way. So, sir, please, sorry to waste your time. Can you please clarify me, sir?
Clarify you how they name us. Is that what you mean, or clarify you for what?
Yes, I want to know what is so special.
Which state did you say you come from?
I come from Imo State.
What is the meaning of Imo State in Igbo dialect?
No, if I should give you my own definition of Imo State, I don't think you
can.
Imo
State is Imo Igbo dialect. Where
no,
did Imo? So where did Imo originate from?
Imo originates. Let me say Imo is from Anambra anyway.
The point is there are things you see. That is why the Bible says when you are removing the specks in another man's eye, look at the firewood in your own eyes. All of us have been bamboozled to a corner. Our leader will say, they just came, they say, you are Niger Delta. And they say, monkey and babu, we say, give me banana, I'm Niger Delta. It's not just Niger Delta, it's every Biafran land. Biafran land names have been concocted and given to us. Names without meaning. And we are very proud of it. You see somebody will say, I'm a very proud Bayelsa. But Bayelsa is not his own language. It has no meaning in their dialect. The same way you will tell me, I am Imo-lite, I'm Imo-lite. Imo is not Igbo dialect. When will we wake up? You are in Asaba. Their name is not Asaba. Their name is Ahaba. I am from Boji Boji. There is nothing like Boji Boji. Boji Boji is English language, meaning boogie boogie. Dangerous for us where criminal hide. That is where I come from. I'm from Anambra. Nothing like Anambra. It's Omambara. It is the names of Biafran they've concocted, and you know, why did they do that? Because the name of every living creature is attached, the power of every living creature is attached to their name. The moment they change your name, they take away your divine providence from you. Your divine power is taken from you. That is why Yoruba will not allow them to change any Yoruba land name to English or concocted name. Neither will Hausa allow it. But we are the one thinking that we are advancing. You see, they say that, you know, I'm proudly Rivers, I'm proudly Datanation. How did they put it? I'm proudly Imo-lite. I thank God Abia have a name that has meaning in our dialect. I think Akwa Ibom do. What does Cross River mean? And so you see, outside Abia, Cross River, there is no other state in Biafra land that is bearing the original name. Enugu, the spelling of Enugu is not the spelling of Enugu in Igbo dialect now. So it's concocted. When you look at Ebonyi state spelling, is it Ebonyi or is it Ebonyi or is it Ebonyi? When you hear Abakeleke, is it Abakeleke or Abakelike? Which of them? My brother, now the same rule pull all of us. So. When I say I be Niger Delta, you be Imo. Make you never rejoice. So. Because Imo no be Igbo language. So. Have you been to Control?
Of course.
After Control, the next bus stop whether is Ukura Hausa and Mood Rock everywhere. Go to the roundabout there. You will see the name of all the communities that make up Imo State. Most of them don't even sound like the Igbo we speak today. Do you understand? What I'm saying in effect is that these people, the purpose of changing our name is to take away our spiritual authority from us. and that they have succeeded in doing. One of these days, we will look into the names we bear, and then you will understand that it's not about who answers south, south, or southeast, or upland, or riverland. But rather, this is the time we need to go back and begin to ask that musician. A musician sang and say, "Melu ebereu, melu ebereu." Have you heard about that music?
Of course.
That musician, I think he need to explain to us why he sang that song, why he sang that song. So forget about south, south, southeast, upland, riverland, Niger, Delta, Niger. We are not aware. Like Amadou Bello said to the Northerners, they were not awakened to their responsibility. Our people were not awakened to their responsibility, but I can assure you very soon they shall. They will. Thank you very much. We must continue. And I think you have to summarize so other people can have access to the platform.
Okay, very sorry. For the last time, I schooled in Edo State anyway. My primary school is in Edo State. My secondary school, to be precise, is in Edo State also. There's one guy from London called Murphy that just rise up recently and begin to give some kind of history related to the Edo and the Igbo race anyway. So, and I now quickly recall that because I study in the Edo State, Edo people have a natural health rate where Igbo man is, or which that makes me to head Edo State to the cause he did. But when this young man rise up, I listened to this young man. I called him. I said, "Young man, you begin to make me to change my mind where Edo is." He said, what do you mean? I said, "Look at my own part of story. I went to Olia Primary School to be precise. But Benin had to the extent. And I began to ask the young man, what is actually the problem of Igbo man that makes Benin person to hate us like any other thing? What happened?" He said, "No, Benin never hate us." I said, "Who hate us?" He said, "It is Oba, it is this, it is that." The young man began to convince me in a way like that. I begin to agree with him. I say, that these people, they didn't know even because I remember there is a market in the Benin called Ekiosa. We also have the same Eke here. There is some language like that related to Benin and Igbo. But in other way around, I confuse. I say, what is actually going on between we and these people? So, Nobel, can you please for the last time?
This
please,
this will be the last time I will answer your question. Now,
yes, sir,
I am from Bende State. I was born in Bende State. I was bred and buttered in Bende State. I use my leg waka comot for Bende State. They no carry me comot. So if it were left for my parents, I should be in Bende State by now. There is no community in Bende State I have not been to. Only Eka communities in Bende State is about 474 communities. Not to talk of Awuchi, Isako, Ekboma, Orionwo. Not to talk of Urobo, Shekiri, Ole, Abraka. Not to talk of Okwane, Abu, not to talk about Onyeibe, not to talk about Uyuku, not to talk of Obiaroko. So many of them. Ogwashuku, Buluku, Obio, Ndokwa Osimili, Anyocha. There is no nook and cranny of Biafra land I have not been to. Bende State. You're talking about Ibudu, Akomazi, Uwere, on the Cholon, on the Chubu, Kukuabo, Utulukbu, Ali Shimi, Wuhimi, Ozanogo, Ozanishi, Abavo, Owaliru, Owiki. There is no part of Abavo, Ali Shimi, Umulua. You can't tell me anywhere in Bende State. Now, the point is, it depends on where you are getting your information from. There are things we will not dabble into, not because we don't know the truth. But when the time comes, we will know how we got where we are. Now, first of all, we have people who are Biafrans. I always tell people, in the whole of Bende State, only two people are not Biafrans. Number one is the Oba of Benin. He's one of the prince from Ife, Ile Ife. I have said it over and over. Our people went to Ife and asked the Oni of Ife to teach us how they govern themselves. We give it to them, we do not have the same monarchy system. And the Oni of Ife say, Oba no they go transfer. As a result, he cannot abandon his throne to come and teach us. He sent one of his princes to come down to Bendel State and teach us how they govern themselves in Yoruba land. And that is without the consent of our brothers in the South, South, and Southeast. Because we were the first to be isolated from the true families of Biafrans. And when we got there, the real monarch that preside over Bendel State is the Igbenedion family, the Isama of Edo Kingdom. They relinquished that position and allowed this one of the Prince of Oni of Ife to come to Benin and teach us. Igbenedion stood aside, and the Oni of Ife son married the Benin woman. And they gave birth to a son known as Eweka, which the fraudulent history of Nigeria referred to as Eweka the Great. And when Eweka the Great was of old, that Prince of Oni of Ife went back to Ife, Yoruba land, where he came from. Eweka the Great took over the monarchy leadership of the Bendel State, or should I say Benin. And then, when Eweka was of age, he gave birth to Ovaromi Obaise. And Eweka, at his old age, returned back to Ife. Ovaromi Obaise managed the monarch, the throne. And it was during his reign that the Portuguese invaded the Benin Kingdom, Bendel State to be precise. And what did they came to look for? It was timber. And Ovaromi Obaise was betrayed by his most trusted ally known as Osazakbo. He was hunted down, he was murdered alongside with Nana of Ishekiri, Jaja of Opobo, Ezenri of Anambra, Ezewawawa of Onza Kingdom, and so on and so forth. That was when they brought down all the monarchs in Biafra land. Now, what am I trying to say in effect? Ovaromi Obaise, before he was captured by the Portuguese, have his son already known as Omonoba Iridiowo. Omonoba Iridiowo, you have Omonoba Iridiowo, Kwakpolokpolo, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest of them. Along the line, in the early 80s, Igbenedion family took the Oba of Benin to court, asking him to return to Ife where he came from. As a result, Nigerian government destroyed the business empire of Igbenedion. That is why Okada Airline is no longer today, because Obasanjo issued a decree that any plane more than 12 years, is it 22 years, is not allowed to fly in Nigeria. And you know, the country that manufacture plane don't sell new plane to a country that do not manufacture new plane. This is one thing you will never know. If your country cannot manufacture new plane, they will not sell new plane to you. So Igbenedion could not afford new plane because Nigerian don't manufacture new plane. They have to buy worn-out plane, outdated planes, and that is how Obasanjo crippled Igbenedion business. So they were settled later, because when Lucky Igbenedion became the governor of Edo State, it was an indirect way to compensate them. That is why Lucky Igbenedion looted Edo State to the extent that when he was leaving office, he went with the doors, security doors in government house. EFCC don't go to them, ICPC don't go to them, DSS don't go to them, because if you go to them, a lot of history is going to come up and they really don't want it. That is why they hate IPOB. So in nutshell, what I'm trying to tell you there is, when you say Benin hate Igbo, you should begin to ask, who are the Benin that hate Igbo? Who are the Igbo that they hate? You see, we are going to take time before 30th of May. We're going to analyze so many things, and hopefully our people will be able to know what is actually going on. There is a building, a story building somewhere in around Ring Road in Benin. This building, maybe I will ask our Edo State coordinator to send me the picture of this building. This building, the house. Yeah, have you been to the house?
I did the house.
Yes. That building you see, the Benin people dig a massive grave. Over 3 million Biafrans, if I'm not mistaken. Thousands of Biafrans were buried on that shallow grave. After the war, to cover this atrocity, they built that story building there on top of graves of Biafrans. Igbo Biafrans were buried in their thousands. That building is still standing today. The owner of that building later sold it. Government bought the building. Along the line, nobody refused to take it. Somebody bought it. As I'm talking to you, that building is empty because the thousands of Biafrans that are buried on that ground refuse to sleep. So anybody thinking that Biafrans are sleeping, they are joking. We will remember thousands of people buried under Akidigbe House in Edo State by Benin people. When Benin in Lagos were returning back, Benin people hijacked them, slaughtered them, and buried them. Then let me see what I'm supposed to say tomorrow or next tomorrow. So my brother, let us stop there. It is not all Benin that are Nigeria or Yoruba. Many Benin people are Biafrans. We will tell them the truth. But it's not about any Benin person coming on social media and start telling us that Onitsha people migrate from Benin. That is bunkon, that is rubbish. If I do not want to debunk them, does not mean they are right. So you are Benin, you are fighting for Biafra. We want you to be part of Biafra. But don't try to tell us where we come from or where we didn't come from. I am from Abo. Abo is in Delta State and in Edo State. And I can tell you categorically that the landscape, for instance, Abo people occupy in that Bendel State is bigger than the whole of Southeast. It's bigger than the whole of South-South. I can assure you that the only land Abo people occupy. But like I will always tell people, when they talk about the history of the descendant of Unri, somebody will tell you Anambra is first son, Enugu is second son, then maybe Abia is third son, then Imo is fourth son, then Enugu is fifth son, then maybe Ebonyi is son. The question is, if Unri have seven sons, where are the other sons? You have Mbili in Imo State, you have Mbili in Abo. You have Father Ede somewhere, I don't know where Father Ede come from. But my mother come from Umuede. But my father come from Umuede. My mother come from Umuede. You begin to see the replica of every community within Imo. In fact, I come from Uto, for the avoidance of that. The community where I come from in Abo is known as Ute Owere. Ute Owere simply means Owere group. So where am I coming from? You will see invariably at the end of the day, if my father or my ancestors is not part of the sons of Unri, it could be that my ancestors migrated from Owerri, or Owerri people migrated from my community. Because when you come from the location where my communities are, a cannot local government in Delta State, you begin to see many communities named after a lot of communities in Imo State. You have Utowiri, you have Owiri Olobo, you have Owiri or Ali here, and so on and so forth. And so I will stop there. For everything they've done to us, before our time is up here on earth, we will undo all of them. Biafra restoration goes beyond just trying to gain back our natural hemisphere. We will undo every evil they've done to us. We will deal with them to the extent that they wish they never cross our path. But let it be on record that we are not here to conquer anybody. It is either they allow us to go or we shall improvise. My brother, thank you very much. I must cut you off at this moment so that people should be able to make in their own contribution. Tell your people across the globe. I won't let you say anything again. You have to. You say what?
May God bless you.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. And
okay,
God be
do
with
well.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes. We must continue Biafrans. 30th of May is sit at home. When they did all these things, they swept our history under the carpet. They destroyed everything about us. But British government will be very surprised. Colonial masters will be very surprised that everything that is hidden, it is being brought to light. Courtesy, IPOB leadership. We are going home. We are going home. We have not taken that which belongs to another person. We are like a candle before the winds. Millions of people have died, but not in vain. I'll be back in a minute.
The Bible clearly shows where the true Israelites are and where the Messiah is going to gather his people. Judah, he's going to gather from the four corners of the earth. But the other tribes, he will gather from beyond the rivers of Cush in Africa.
Like a candle in the night that came and blew us away.
And like a thief in the night that came and stole it away.
You've been
All the Biafrans should stand up, rise up for your freedom.
It's a freedom song.
Freedom song, and together we save our land.
Yeah, no.
Freedom song, and together we save our land.
Yeah. From a religion, believe and nature, culture, now we are no one. So no more breathing, so we gotta go.
Our tradition is live and let's live, but they are killing us now. We need to
See this land is big, we need a bread and back to it. To make it work out, we need to be like Punch.
Man, we fighting for our freedom, so you gotta stand up, searching for the garden of Eden. Oh, we are freedom fighters, light up the lighter.
We fight to live, everybody stand up, fight for your freedom.
So tell the people, tell the world, tell the nation, let them know we are triumphant.
Many people are dying, all our children missing.
Freedom song.
How long are we gonna live by this?
Freedom song.
Whoa. Yeah.
Freedom song. Freedom song. And together we save our land.
We are fighting for the future of the children, the hope of the rising sun.
We will keep on believing and fighting to the end of time. We can't really war.
The Babylon them workers of iniquity, brutality them can never see the rising of the sun.
The futures of tomorrow. Now give them the strength they need. Yeah.
Freedom song.
Freedom,
Freedom, and together we save our land.
we need our
Freedom song.
freedom song. Save our land.
Freedom song. And together we save our land.
Freedom.
Freedom song. And together we save our land.
Together forever.
Freedom song. And together we save our land.
Fight for our pride.
Freedom song. And together we save our land.
Yes, we must continue. One or two call more, then we will round up. Yes, caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Rabbi, sorry I kept you on the line.
No, so it's fine. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I've been listening.
enjoying my music.
I was
not-
enjoying the music.
You're
indeed.
not paying much in grand, Rabbi.
No, you have to test.
In
You have
fact,
to test me.
you will be suspended on air.
Test me.
Do
Test.
you want
I
to be
wanted to.
suspended on air?
No, never. I'm your man. Test.
I
You have
know.
to test me.
I know.
You have to test me details privately.
I know. Go ahead, please. The world is listening.
Test me details. Get me. Now
Go
I greet their friends of their friends, and freedom lovers around the world. Mazi Onyeibe, I thank you for this interactive program. It's quite educative to some of us and many of us. As a matter of fact,
that's my brother that asked those questions. He's wonderful, honestly. I wish,
Indeed,
I wish he will inbox me and tell me, answer more questions. I actually have to cut him off because I don't want to, be distracted from the purpose of this program. But honestly, that brother, if you are listening to me, please continue sending message till I get your attention. I love those questions he was answering. Go ahead, please.
Absolutely.
Rabbi.
Yes, interactive program is quite educative, and that's the best way to educate people. There are people who are good in direct, talking, and they get informed. Some get it through practical. Some get it clearer through interactive, and we're all learning. There's something I want to add to what you are saying today, and some of us don't know the implication and what these things, the order that our leader gave for this 30th of May 2019 for the remembrance of our fallen heroes fallen heroes and heroines. And these people, let me tell you where they are now. These things you see happening to the zoo is not normal. Okay, these people, as at now, they are disembodied spirits. They are disembodied spirits.
They were killed. They were killed. Their life was taken from them. I could only put myself in their position. And you think these people are sleeping? You are telling them rest in peace? Rest in peace, Imbo, according to Yoruba. They are not resting any in peace.
Never. Nigeria, as a matter of fact, because our people are not awake to our responsibility, like this Ahmadu Bello thing you said, that, let me borrow that language, that we didn't know that Nigeria is the worst ritualist country on earth. Nigeria has been doing rituals to suppress the spirit of those men and women massacred. They have offered sacrifices. I can tell you for a fact, there is someone that my people can't lie to me. I wasn't there that time, but this was going on and on and on and on. That in the evening, they will come and start talking. People who had them are still alive, hearing them talking, and when you come out, you will not see anybody. That time, after the war, remember, after the war, we have a lot of forestry, trees, bushes, and if you go inside, you will see a lot of weapons like rocket and so many other weapons that they shot from the air or directly or with armored, even abandoned armored vehicles and so many things from the zoo. So these people, we are disembodied. Anytime somebody come to the world, there is a number of years that God has given to that person. There is a number of years given. It's in the scripture. God said initially it was 120 years. Then he reduced it again. As evil keep on coming, he reduced it to 80. From 80, now he brought it to 70. So if you die before that time, before that year, especially young, somebody took your life, you haven't gone anywhere, you are still much more around. Only that you cannot, your body is like your passport to be on the planet Earth. Man, human spirit doesn't die, man doesn't die. The earth, the body is prepared for you to live here, to be this is your habitat. But after, when you are disembodied, you may, if it is not your time, you will still be hanging around, and it can be very uncomfortable and annoying that you don't have a place anymore, and you are still around. When the time comes, you will be taken. Okay, now, when these people were killed, massacred, they started hovering around. And these killers that you see today, if I tell you the rituals Babangida used to do, T.Y. Danjuma used to do.
Not only Babangida, not T.Y. Danjuma. Yoruba and Hausa are doing ritual to suppress the blood of these innocent people they have murdered. There are days we will come and tell the world what the pattern they use in killing us has spiritual implication. When we come out for protest, they shoot the people at the front line. They rush immediately to pick their dead body. We think they are trying to cover their track. No. In a war situation in the ancient day, the body of the heroes in the front line are used to do charm against those people they are fighting.
I want to advise Nigeria, Onyeibe, hold your peace, sir. I want to advise Nigerian government now. There is something now. If they are wise enough, I want to tell them something. The greatest mistake they are making is to suppress this thing. I can tell you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not himself. Many Biafrans you see moving around, they are not themselves anymore. So if Nigeria think they can suppress it, Nigeria is just heading towards explosion. I can tell you that, confirmed. I haven't spoken for some time on the radio. There is a reason. I don't come on the radio to just blah, blah, blah and walk away. No. So Nigeria is going to experience, I told them now, at the time when I was talking, I said, okay, a lot of things are happening. This Imo, This name they change. What the enemy does. Let me tell us what Satan does. Nigeria is evil. What Satan does, when Satan comes into your territory without permission, what he will do is to change your identity. Your identity is what he's going to tamper with. If your name, how come Jacob didn't know his name was Israel? And he was bearing Jacob. How come Abraham didn't know his name was Abraham? Until he had an encounter with Chukwu Okike Abiama, who said, "What is your name?" He said, "Abraham." He said, "No, your name is not Abraham. I gave you from the time I was sending you to the earth, Abraham." So your destiny, your name was tampered by spiritual orders. So I came to correct it now. So from today, stop calling yourself Abraham. You are Abraham, father of nations. And we are those nations now. You see, so when God came, he reminded Pharaoh, he said, "Israel is my son and even my first son." And you will look at yourself, he said, "But we are dealing with multitude of Israelis in the land of Egypt." God was telling Pharaoh that Israel, those people you are looking at, they are the descendant of someone that I made covenant with. They are my first son. That's how God sees things. So these people you are dealing with, if I take it back, they came from Israel. He is my son and my first son. If you don't let them go, I will kill your first son and your first animals. Everything that came out first will die. It happened. History recorded it. Now, Nigeria is a satanic nation. Govern, use, even, I don't have any adjective. I'm thinking to see the best adjective. Controlled by Lucifer. Even these people you call men of God and women of God are inspired by Lucifer, that they cannot see the truth. So they are blinded to the extreme that they cannot see the truth. And God said to Nigeria, if you don't let this spirit is accumulating. A pastor said it, if you see 1 million Biafran, you are seeing 2. If you are seeing 2, you are seeing 4. They are pregnant. This is spiritual. The man was talking from what he was seeing in the spirit, but the idiots in Asorok and the ones in Britain and the ones in other part of Shell and the Netherlands, because of the sweetness of the crude oil and the money, they don't want to see the truth. I want to commence to say one thing again. When they gave them the name Imo State, do you know when they were killing them, when this idiot that died and buried in Saudi Arabia, this Buhari, when he was shooting them in Imo State, he said, "You don't want to obey me, idiot must obey. Igbos must obey." That is your name. IMO is Igbo. They first of all said, "Igbo must obey me." And he first of all said, "You idiot must obey." And they laughed at it and they used it and gave you a state. So when Okorocha is doing Iberiberism, when he's talking about and misbehaving, you will think that this man is doing it deliberately. Something is controlling him to behave according to the name given to them. Until that name is changed, you will never get your head. I will give you an example again. When South Africa apartheid collapsed, the port of entry is a place where any person that comes to your territory must go through your port of entry. It can be the air port of entry or the sea port of entry or the road port of entry. Now, the airport of entry, which is very pivotal, was called Jan Smoot. They first of all changed it to they said Oliver Tambo, who fought for apartheid, and they said they are comfortable with the name now. I have those stamps in my document. I have them. When it was Jan Smoot, I had it in my document. When it was Johannesburg, I got them. When it was OR, I have it. So I can have memory of what I'm talking about. So now they came and changed your name. I had Mazi Alozie saying it is named Rumu Koro. Umukoro, Rumu this, Rumu that. They change your names. And according to that name, you will be behaving according to that name. You remember, when God created Adam and brought him and put him in the garden, he said, give names to the animals. If somebody call you Egu Keta, you will be angry. Say, he said, I don't have sense. He's look at goat. By the behavior goat was displaying, Adam called him Egu. Call it Egu. When Ago, lion came, he said, you are lion. When elephant came, Enyi, he said, Enyi Wafagi. You see, so he gave them names and he never forgot all the names. So if, okay, the author, Onyeibe, I'll come and take it closer. When your son or your daughter, you gave them that name. When that is the authority you have over them, that they bear the name that their father gave them. Anyone you call Nnemeka, Nnemeka will answer you. Nnemeka will not see that, will not hear Nnemeka and say, you are not calling me. He will come out because you are the one that gave him that name. So now the names, the name they gave us is what our leader came. Now he began to undo those names. And that's why you see Ohaneze Ndibo. Now Ndiara, they are not Ohaneze, they are not Ohaneze Ndibo. I know that Igbo, they did this Clifford Iranya and their group that gave them those ideas. I know have been following what they're doing. The animals, that heaven will strike death one day. It's what they sat down together, said we have to frustrate this thing because they're scared of what will happen when Biafra comes. So that is what their fear will destroy them. Then this Ohaneze and Diara began to, they are their steward, they are their extension there. So anyone that's listening to that Ohaneze people and telling you that you shouldn't observe that 30th of May, that person is worse than death and Lucifer. I'm telling you, our people, I'm telling you the gospel truth and heaven's truth. That's what I'm here to declare. So they have seen, Nigeria have seen that they cannot stop this thing anymore. The ritual, I want to finalize this. When Moses appeared in the palace of Pharaoh, anytime Moses will do one sign by God, the magician will do the same thing. Okay. And he came to the 5th point. They said, magician cannot be able to do those things anymore. I am now trying to tell you that Nigeria, you have come to the end of the road. Boys to men, this is your end of the road, your road. You have come to a point that you cannot be able to undo anything anymore. Your magic will not work. Your incantation will not work. Your monthly prognosticators or prognostication will never work.
Their bullet will not work.
Their
harassment will not work.
Their
intimidation will not
harassment
work.
Will
their
not
subjugation
work.
will not work.
Oh
their looting will not
talk
work.
To me. Talk to me. Yes, talk to me. Talk to me. It won't work. So be people of God, be rest assured that Nigeria, as Pharaoh, as the cabinet of Pharaoh spoke to Pharaoh, he said, why don't you let these people go? Can't you see that Egypt is destroyed? Are you not seeing what the destruction that is happening in Egypt? Someone is telling them, don't you see that Nigeria is destroyed? Let them go. But something is dragging them. Their master in Europe and in UK, they are dragging them because they want to get that money. But that money is your money, is my money. God blessed us beyond our imagination and sent us someone that they cannot be able to corrupt. That is Mazi, our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Each and every day, I lift him up to the throne of grace. I say, God, this thing is beyond him, but do that thing which no man can do. Use him to accomplish this thing. And those people that are speaking from their hideout, bring them to a point that they cannot be able to undo anything anymore. And that has come. At the end of this 30th of May, we will see that these people cannot be able to influence anybody anymore. Their bullet will never work. Their intimidation, subjugation will never work. Their killings will never work. Rather, they will be killing themselves. Mazi Onyeibe, Udo Deregi, thank you very much. Test me what I told you. I meant what I said. Test me that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my
God
brother.
bless you, sir.
We
Shalom.
must continue.
Shalom.
Yes, this is where we will be ending this program, I must say. We shall continue from there tomorrow morning. Our leader, Mazen Nandekano, will be in Atlanta, Georgia, 30th of May to address Biafrans, eminent Biafrans, I should say, within the continent of America. So no matter how difficult it is for you to get there, make a date with him. You'll be glad you did. He will be there with our deputy supreme leader. Go there. That thing you would think they are not doing right, you have the privilege to tell them. And of course, I trust him. He's a very temperance man, not like me. He will allow you air your view. Tell him that thing you think he's not doing well. Tell him he's waiting for you. But understand that its simple truth cannot be overemphasized. We want to go home. Nothing more, nothing less. We want to go home. And home we shall go. God bless you, I must tell you. Remain focused. Understand that everything we are doing is within the preamble of law. Nobody can victimize us. Nobody can nickname us, give us bad name. Nobody can criminalize our activities because it is our right to self-determination. It is our right to ask for our freedom, most especially when we find ourselves in a state like the Nigerian state. 30th of May, sit at home in Biafra land. And every Biafrans, wherever you are across the globe, it is time to remember our fallen heroes and heroines. I'll be back in a minute, or rather, I will be signing off from here. Remain blessed, remain focused. Chuko Kikabiama be with you. This
is my song for freedom. They call me Chris Jokey. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil, for still God damn is always with me. He's always with me. And the sun will rise. My brothers will be coming home. Yeah, we made it through the sun to home. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and the time is too late. So join me, let us get it now. For happiness we all rejoice. Yes, we are the children of God. I am talking about the holy land, yeah, where God will always reign, and the sun will shine again. So we the people rejoice, yeah, where no one will tell me, yeah, that my song is suicidal, that I will lose my life for singing songs, where there is freedom of speech. Mr. Mefo will remind us, yeah, that we are children of the Most High God. In Jerusalem we meet again, yeah, because we are the children of God, and the sun will rise. My brothers will be coming home, yeah, we made it through the sun to home. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and no time is too late. So join me, let us get it now. For happiness we all rejoice. Yes, we are the children of God. We are praying for the moment, yeah, when heaven will come for us, and the world will talk about us, so no one else have to die. All this nation will respect us, yeah. Understand we just wanna go back home. No amount of conquest to show, yeah, cause we all got possessed, and the spirit is in me. My director will return home, yeah, Show us love we used to do before. Beautiful faces that we see again. Yeah, we need you, we miss you, and we wait on you. And the sun will rise. My brothers will be coming home. Yeah, we made it through the sun to home. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and the time is too late. So join me, let us get it now. Our happiness we all rejoice. Yes, we are the children of God. Holy, Nambegano is another Savior. Holy, Nambegano is another Savior. Mucha, Mugawa, Biafra, Kadegede, we run, baby. It is a chance, Mugawa, Biafra, Kadegede, we run, baby. The sun will rise. My brothers will be coming home. Yeah. We made it through the sun to home. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and no time is too late. They call me Chris Jokey. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil, for still God is always with me. Yeah, He's always with me. And the sun will rise. My brothers will be coming home. Yeah, we made it through the sun to home. We gave our blood to redeem our land, and Imano muwana masimane nuaru enese babulu sonjoni maru amufani na boluze soni ruese uwekaze nirufa musabali yamu akoba yokoma enese ni fakotoba inazu ipado beze kinani akose monyenga pongwane mo onyekanga posi oyoma Ebu watu wenu nekene ewo akuwasi ajo Manumu wana masi manenu aru, emese babulu sonjone naru. Amufani na buluze sanireze, ewo. Apaze monyanga pongwane mo, konye kamunya gajibasi. Epumu watu brenu mo, amandianeze.